Hey guys, welcome back to another sports stuff video. Today, I'll be talking about the Detroit Lions and how I feel Detroit Lions can go from 9-8 to maybe even winning the NFC North. So if you guys do enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the notification bell, be notified when I post next. Go in the description, follow us on everything. But let's talk about the Detroit Lions. I was very high on them all season. So let's see what I can do with their offseason. Notable free agents they have. We got Jamal Williams, DJ Shark, Mike Hughes, Deshaun Elliott, and Amani Oruwariye. I know how to pronounce his name. It struggles a little bit. Amani Oruwariye is honestly all notable free agents. So let's talk first about DJ Shark. He had 30 receptions for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns in his first season with the Detroit Lions. He's a good red zone threat. I think he's definitely worthy of a contract because you have Jameson Williams at wide receiver 1. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown. Technically, he's your first wide receiver on the depth chart, but he plays more that slot role. You have DJ Chark, could be a really good number 2 boundary wide receiver, and he's a good red zone threat. There's going to be a lot of teams who are missing the red zone threat receiver. They're going to be trying to offer him money, and he's on the timetable of the Detroit Lions. So let me move my camera here real quick. Here's my contract I have made up for him right now. I got a 2-year, about a $28 million deal, $5.5 million as signing bonus, then guaranteed $12 million of it. So he gets a good amount of money to stay on for 2 more years and hopefully help this Lions team not only win the NFC North, but maybe even host a playoff game, win a playoff game, maybe even go to the Super Bowl. Who knows what they can do next season. Well, I should really think ahead of time when I'm doing this. Running back Jamal Williams. He led the league in touchdowns this past season. Led the league in rushing touchdowns with 17 rushing touchdowns. It's Jamal Williams. Come on, guys. We got to re-sign him. He loves the Lions. The Lions love him. He's unstoppable from the 5-yard line. He was honestly the number 1 red zone running back as well. So you have one of the best red zone wide receivers, one of the best red zone running backs in free agency. You got to re-sign him. Right here, got about a 3-year, $19 million deal, $4 million signing bonus with about $9 million guaranteed overall. And ideally, if you want to move on from him after 2 years, you can save yourself $5 million in cap space on that 2025 year. But I would keep him. I think he's a locker room guy. All over social media, the Lions post about Jamal Williams. So I think they like him and he likes them. It's a mutual respect, Next up, cornerback Amani Oruwariye. He had a down season after an amazing 2021 campaign. Honestly, he was their best secondary member last year. He had a little bit of a down season this year, but I think he's still a good number 2 boundary corner. You have Jeff Okudah at the slot corner. If you bring back Mike Hughes, if you just want to rerun this cornerback room again, you can. But I would definitely improve it. It was definitely the worst part of their defense was their secondary. He wouldn't be too expensive, and he's a good locker room guy. All the reports I've seen out of Detroit is that Amani Oruwariye is one of the best locker room guys, number 24. Move my camera out of the way for a minute. I have, what is that, a 21, 30, about a 4-year, $40 million deal with $9 million as a signing bonus and 24 guaranteed. So 4 for 40, $24 million guaranteed. Not that bad. His cap hit never even hits $15 million a year. And for your number 2 corner, that's really good. He was drafted by the Lions. I think the Lions should keep their in-house guys as long as they can. Next up, we have free agent targets. So, as I said, Amani Oruwariye is a good number 2 corner. You got Jeff Okudah at slot. Improve the number 1 corner overall with James Bradberry. He just had a Pro Bowl, All-Pro season in Philly. The Lions need a true number 1 corner, which I think James Bradberry can be. And he's the best corner in free agency this year. In free agency, not by trade, in free agency. So what I have here is a 3-year, about $50 million deal with 2 void years at the end to spread that signing bonus out of $10 million. But you guarantee about $30 million of that deal. So it's 3 for 50. You guarantee about $38 to $40 million of it. Cap hit never goes above 20. Again, great deal for a number 1 corner. You add those void years to stretch that signing bonus out a little bit more. So his cap hit never goes above 20. David Onyemata is honestly one of the best D tackles in free agency. He had 5 sacks and 43 tackles. He's a cheaper option than Javon Hargrove, Fletcher Cox. Was going to be Deron Payne, but he had a top 5 production at D tackle in free agency. He's a top 5 D tackle in free agency. Get him for cheap. 2-year, about $5 million base salary. and then you get about, if you do about 4.5 million of it guaranteed. So it's a massive guaranteed deal, but it's a small deal overall. Guarantee almost the entirety of the contract, but you get a really solid D tackle, can help you grow from that position. Next, you have Austin Hooper. I think Austin Hooper would honestly be the ideal tight end target for the Detroit Lions. He's a solid veteran tight end option. He's a good receiver in the red zone because he has no yak ability. The minute he catches the ball, as a Browns fan who had Austin Hooper for 2 years, as a Browns fan, the minute he catches that ball, he's a tug it and it's fall to the ground. So he's a really good red zone target because of that. He's tall, big. He was with the Tennessee Titans this past season, but he's not a run blocker. That is one where I feel like he'd be a little bit better. He is not really a run blocker anymore. He really is just a receiver. But for the Lions, they have what is his name? The rookie this past season that they traded T.J. Hawkinson instead and went with the rookie. I can't remember his name right now. But about a 2-year, $13 million deal. You guarantee 6.5 of it with a $3 million signing bonus. Honestly, I think this would be really good. If they got these three targets in free agency, that would be an A+ free agency for me. You get a veteran tight end option because you moved on from T.J. Hawkinson, so you didn't have to pay him massive money. You get a veteran tight end option, a veteran D tackle, and a veteran corner number 1 who just had an All-Pro season. This would be a great free agency period for the Detroit Lions. Went back. Trade targets. So this, if you're going to this offseason, these are the guys that I would trade for. I got Jalen Ramsey, Deron Payne, and Josh Allen, the defensive end from the Jaguars. Jalen Ramsey, it's not happening. I don't think Jalen Ramsey gets traded, but with all the trade rumors that are happening, if you can do it, you do it. He's a top 5 cornerback in the league. He was only 28. I thought Jalen Ramsey was like 31 at this point, man. But Jalen Ramsey's only 28. He would definitely help this defense, become a top 5 unit overall, in my opinion. New deals reported. If he does get traded, he wants a brand new deal to become the number 1 paid cornerback in the league again. So it's going to be multiple picks, probably including next year, one of the first round picks you have. I think they have 18. Yeah, because they have their pick at 18 and they're the Lions pick at 6. So you have to trade your pick 18 and more than likely another first round pick next year. Probably the Rams first round pick next year so they can have it back. But you have to trade something. More than likely just one first round pick and like a second or a third to get Jalen Ramsey. But here's a new deal I have for Jalen Ramsey. That's about $110 million. Let's see, 30, 56, 78, 98, 108, 117. That's a 5-year, $117 million deal to get Jalen Ramsey. A $15 million signing bonus. You guarantee about 50 of it. So after year 3, if you want to cut him, you can. If you want to trade him, you can. But this gets him through his age 31 season. Well, actually, it's age 33 season. But at age 31, you can move on from him and not have that much dead cap. Save yourself $16 and $30 million in cap space. But yeah, I think if you can get Jalen Ramsey, you do it. But I don't think he's available. I think all these reports are just false. I don't believe any of those reports that he's on the trade block. Deron Payne. This was actually going to be my number 1 free agency target if he would hit the free agency market. But he was tagged by Washington. Would immediately become the best IDL on the team. Because you cut Michael Brockers. You don't really have... you have a lot... You have like Akeem McNeil. Or Aleem McNeil or something. I can't remember his name. But you have multiple young D tackles. Deron Payne would immediately become your best interior defensive lineman. He's a scheme fit, and you need a D tackle. And here's my proposed deal for him. That's what? A 27, 49, 671, 91. It's about a $108 million deal over 5 years for Deron Payne. Averages out to about $22 million a year. This is including with the franchise tag at the 18.9. That's including the franchise tag. So I do a $15 million signing bonus, and you guarantee about 50 of it. So it's about 5-year, $108 million with $50 million of it guaranteed, which you can always renegotiate, guarantee more as the season goes on. But it's only like 25, so it goes until he's his age 30 season. If Deron Payne does get traded, I think the Lions and the Bears are the 2 teams I would trade for him, and I think either team that gets him would be happy. Next up, I want to move my camera for this. Josh Allen, my guy. I love Josh Allen, the Texans. He was one of my favorite young defensive ends coming out of college. He's a scheme fit with the Detroit Lions, and the Jaguars changed their scheme, so I don't know if he's gonna be a scheme fit. He had a little bit of a down season this year. You got Trayvon Walker, you got Foyeside Aluakon, you got a couple other guys that you got in free agency in the draft that I feel like Josh Allen, I don't know if he's really a priority for them. And they have multiple big contracts coming up. They're going to have Trevor Lawrence. They're going to have Travis Etienne. They already have, what's his name? Christian Kirk. You're going to have to probably extend Calvin Ridley next season. And Trevor's going to demand $50-ish million a year. Can you pay him and Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker eventually and Devin Lloyd? He already has a Pro Bowl in his career. And I think with him and Aiden Hutchinson, that'd be a lethal duo. You probably have to give up probably pick 18 or maybe a high second-round pick next year for him. But here's my proposed deal. It would be a 5-year, about $70 million deal, right? It's about 5 for 70. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 70. 5 for 80. Sorry, 5 for 85 is what my deal would be proposed. $10 million signing bonus. And you guarantee a lot of it. I would guarantee a lot for Josh Allen. This is about a $53 million guaranteed contract on an $85 million deal. And you guys know I don't really like guaranteeing that much of a contract. I do about 50 to 55% of a contract guaranteed, which is about the league standard. But this one I guarantee a little bit more to get Josh Allen, because him and Aiden Hutchinson for the next 4 or 5 years, while Aiden's on that rookie contract, would be elite. And here's my proposed draft. Now, I don't agree with PFF's draft grades at all. So let me move my camera down here now. I don't agree with their draft grades at all. So I'm going to explain each pick. So right now, you're at pick 6, right? You're at pick 6 from the Los Angeles Rams. Instead of drafting anyone like Will Levis, I would stick with Jared Goff. I would try to play for next year Caleb Williams or Drake May. So the Buccaneers, they need a quarterback. They trade this year's first, this year's third, next year's first and second for pick 6 and pick 81. So the Lions obviously go back from 6 to 19, but they also pick up the Bucs next year first, which is going to be very valuable because, no matter what, I don't think Will Levis or any quarterback you get at 6 is going to immediately change a franchise like that. And you get their future second, which would be a high pick in the second round. You slide back about 13 picks, you pick up a third round pick, and you get two back-to-back picks at 18 and 19. And at 18, I'm taking Michael Mayer. I think he's the best receiving tight end in this class. He's the best blocking tight end in this class. He's elite at everything. And they say a D+. You gotta remember, they traded T.J. Hawkinson, and I think Michael Mayer could be a better T.J. Hawkinson for the next 4 or 5 years. You don't gotta pay him for 5 years. And that was a problem. That's why they traded T.J. Hawkinson. That his deal was coming up, and you have to pay him soon. They drafted him in 2019. It's 2023. He's a required deal next year, and they didn't want to pay it. So Michael Mayer, you get him on a rookie contract for 5 years with that 5th-year option. I think it's a great scheme fit, and it brings another elite tight end to Detroit. 19, you pick up Cam Smith from South Carolina. I don't know if I ever did my cornerback rankings, but I have Cam Smith as a top 5 corner. There was a time where I was having him going as a second or third corner in this class. I think he's a top 5 corner. I think he's definitely worthy of pick 19 overall. He's good in zone, good in man, good ball skills. I don't think he's gonna be the fastest guy in the class, but he's probably gonna run a solid 4.4, 4.45. And I think you need a corner. If you don't get Jalen Ramsey, if you don't get James Bradbury, get Cam Smith, pair him with the other 2 guys you got at the corner, and see what you can do. Pick 48, you gotta get Josh Downs. This is an incredible value pick. If Josh Downs is available at pick 48, you're taking him. I would be surprised if Josh Downs isn't available at pick 19. He could have a Jahan Dotson type of rise where he gets picked in the first round, top 15 picks like Jahan Dotson did last year. Josh Downs is a first round talent who's going to slip to the second round. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. So if he's there at 48, you take him. That creates your number 2 wide receiver. DJ Shark is now expendable. You don't need to sign him. You don't need to extend him. You can cut him after a season. I think if Josh Downs falls to 48, you got to take him. He's an elite ball catcher. Watch his film. He's elite. Felix Anudike-Uzomah. I'm very high on FAU. A lot of people aren't. I'm seeing a lot of people surprised that they see FAU going as high as 55. He could be a first-round talent, guys. This is a guy that I could easily see a 29, 30, 31 team taking Felix Anudike-Uzomah. He is a really good pass rusher. He's a speed rusher, a power rusher. He's good at run stuffing. I think he just plays the ball well. And opposite of Aiden Hutchinson, I would like that. If they can get Felix Anudike-Uzomah, I would like that. J.L. Skinner at pick 82. You got Tracy Walker, who's a free agent. You got Deshaun Elliott, who I think you should re-sign. If you can get another young you do have Kirby Joseph. You gotta remember, Kirby Joseph is still there. I don't know if I would sign Deshaun Elliott to a 5-year deal, but if you can get a JL Skinner to be your third safety after Kirby Joseph, after Deshaun Elliott, JL Skinner could be at third safety in a nickel package. And I think there's a really high chance that he's not even in the third round. He might go in the second round. So if he's there at 82, I would take him. Antonio Mafi is a quadzilla guard. Now, I think Halapoulides Vaitai is a very high candidate of being cut this season, this offseason. So if you can replace Vaitai with Antonio Mafi to be your swing guard, I think that'd be really important for this Lions team to have depth at guard. Max Duggan at TCU, I think just grabbing a young quarterback to have on roster that you can maybe can develop into a starting starter quality quarterback. But Max Duggan from TCU, they had a really good season this year. I think he's definitely worthy of a draft pick. They have him as ranked in 317. I think 6th round is a good round for him. I don't think he's a second round pick. I think he's a 3rd or a 4th. 5, 6, and 7, I think Max Duggan will probably end up going. And I'm going to keep pushing this narrative. I love Yaya Diaby. I think Keitrell Clark is the better prospect from Louisville this year. But Yaya Diaby is definitely a guy that I think deserves to go in the draft. If he goes undrafted, I'll be surprised. But I really do like Yaya Diaby. I think there's a good chance he goes. And if someone can get him on 4th down, when you're trying to stop the run, on a 4th down goal line play, I would want Yaya Diaby out there. Next up, potential shocking moves. So here's 3 moves that I think could happen. I think they can make a move for a franchise quarterback in the draft. I think they give up on not give up on Jared Goff, but I think they can move off of Jared Goff after next year. They trade up for Bryce Young. Now, obviously, the Bears would never do this. They would never let this happen. But if the Lions said, hey, we want to trade you pick 6, pick 18, a future first, which was the Rams' first-round pick next year. No, it's their first-round pick. The Rams don't have they don't have the Rams' first-round pick next year. Our first-round pick next year and a future 5th. And we'll receive a 1st, a 2nd, and 2 day 3 picks for number 1 overall. This might be a better package than the Colts can give them. If this is the best package they can get, this might be the best package they can get. 3 first-round picks, 1 still in a top 6 pick, 1 still a top 18 pick, and next year, hopefully, maybe still a top 18 pick, because they don't make the playoffs. That might be the best they can get. And the Lions, they get Bryce Young. I think this is a team that doesn't really care about size. And I still think Bryce Young's the number 1 quarterback in this class. I don't care about his I don't care about his size. I think the Lions, if they can do this, that would be insane. Or if they trade up to number 2 or 3 for C.J. Stroud, whatever. But I think if you're going to go swinging, you go down swinging. I think another one is that they could trade for DeAndre Hopkins or Brandon Cooks. Add another weapon to this offense. Brandon Cooks, I think, is more reasonable because Jared Goff and Brandon Cooks have a history together. But I think that might also cause Brandon Cooks not to want to go with him because in the 1 Super Bowl that Brandon Cooks has played in, he's played with the Patriots. And the last Super Bowl he played in with the Rams, he was wide open for a touchdown. Jared Goff overthrew him. So I think, maybe there is bad blood between him and Jared Goff. Who knows? But DeAndre Hopkins or Brandon Cooks could be a really good receiver for them. And the third one is that Jared Goff is not their starter next year. Is that he's not the QB1 after the draft. Now, whether that's a vet or a rookie, we can discuss. But maybe they sign a Derek Carr. Maybe they get Jimmy Garoppolo that they think can be better than Jared Goff, which I don't think is true. I think the only guy in free agency I would even consider is Derek Carr. Maybe they can get someone like that, or they trade a guy. But I think a shocking move is that Jared Goff is not the presumed starter after the draft, because that's after free agency and after the draft is when free agency kind of calms down. So I think there's a chance that he's not the quarterback 1 after everything. So yeah, that's my Lions offseason plan. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit notification to be notified when I post next. Let me know what team you want me to do next. I'm thinking maybe the Titans. I think the Titans might be the next team I do, but let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys later. Peace and bye.